it's not a rumor, but there's a coup. There was a coup plot, and people were rounded up. And the revolution came from Sahara Reporters, the newspaper I founded, and their reaction. It's fake news. They sponsored their trolls. They were attacking everybody who revealed it. Well, we knew a long time ago that this was the situation. I think they started planning the coup since 2024, and I think it was followed in 2025.
They started, I mean, from the intel that you have, they started the planning from 2024.
Yes. Some of the sources that I spoke to told me that part of the reason the crackdown was very hard on the bad governance was because they knew around that time that some people were planning a coup. And I think some arrests of military officers were made around that period too. So if you notice during end bad governance, their major grasp was that, there was Russian flags on the street and this would promote coup. And it was a time that all these Sahel countries had been taken over by military jackboots. So they started that around 2024, from what I heard. So, but I think maybe they didn't strike then, and then they kept monitoring some of them. A lot of them are disgruntled officers in the Nigerian army who felt that things are not going the way they should. But let me make it very clear, I can never support military rule. Again, I've seen the worst military rule in my lifetime. Nobody can come and tell me, fellow Nigeria, we know things are wrong. These military guys that are planning to take over, that are planning coup, will be worse than the civilians we have. What we should do, and I've said this, anybody who loves Nigeria, is all of us to take on the system at once, have a revolution. You get another government in uniform, all these army generals we're seeing, colonels, and all that, they're the reason why there's insecurity in the country.
The allegation of a coup plot in the country is no longer news. Sowore has claimed that there was a plot to overthrow the government and that the planning allegedly started in 2024. It is not a rumor. There was a coup plot. I think they started planning the coup since 2024. These were his words. Additional sources show that the Defense Intelligence Agency, the DIA, detained at least 16 senior officers over an alleged coup plot or coup plan to overthrow Bola Tinubu's government. Other reports indicate that in one case, a detained colonel had about 11 billion naira in his bank account as part of the probe into the rumored plot. So, why nothing has been definitely proven in the public domain? There are multiple factors. For instance, the Sowore's claim of the planning since 2024. The Sowore is always on the news. It's always on online. He knows what is happening. The arrest of officers in 2025 and large unexpended funds. But who are the alleged plotters? Who are the alleged plotters? From the available info, the DIA report mentions that officers from captain up to brigadier general were involved in this plot. At least one colonel with a large bank balance of 11 billion was detained in connection with the probe. The names of individual senior officers remain undisclosed publicly because the military has instead issued statements citing indiscipline or failure in promotion examinations rather than outright coup planning. So they have debunked that claim already. Sowore really claims that the plot is deeper and longer term. He said that, in his own words now, they started planning since 2024. In short, why the identity of all alleged planners isn't clear. We have a credible narrative of senior military officers being detained. Why are they detained? Major funds being frozen, and a political activist raising red flags about a long-term plan. This has not the fact that we can substantiate or hold on to. Since the military has debunked the allegation of coup plot, we are curious why the service chiefs were reshuffled. In late October 2025, President Tinubu approved a sweeping reshuffle of service chiefs. Let us be. We have the new Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff, and Chief of Naval Staff. They were all replaced. You may be wondering, why does this matter in the context of the coup rumor? It is because a reshuffle at that level, that senior level, signals a major shakeup of the military hierarchy. The major cause or causes you would expect in a situation like this is either there was a security concern, such as the coup plot, or the president wanted to reassert his control over the whole security architecture. One could argue that the reshuffle advantageously achieved a reset of the service leadership, perhaps to preempt or respond to internal threats. The timing of the reshuffle after the arrest of officers tied to the alleged plot suggests that the government may have taken internal warning seriously. For this reason, the benefit of the plot, that is, if the plot or perceived plot existed, is that it may have catalyzed this leadership change, arguably strengthening the president's grip and signaling that the military's top command is being cleaned up. That's a major advantage. The Tucano jet question also come to play. The meeting gear and the screening. Another piece of this puzzle is the controversy around Nigerian super Tucano jet. During the screening of service chiefs at the state or the Senate there, the new Chief of Air Staff, Sunday Kelvin Aneke, was asked about the A29 Super Tucano fleet, sometimes shortened to Tucano jet, that is what we call it, Tucano jet, to purchase to fight insurgency. He assured senators that the jet remain operational and vital. And I think this is cheering for Nigerians who have asked the whereabouts of this Tucano jet without adequate information in the past. Nigerians have asked severally, where are the Tucano jet, where are the Tucano, but this has helped. Similarly, during the screening of the service chiefs, Senator Abdul Ningi had earlier challenged the whereabouts and usage of the jet. During the screening, we asked the Chief of Air Staff, where are our Tucano jet? These are the words of the senator. They were bought for not less than $1 billion, and the answer was, although they are not Nigeria, contract limitations prevent full use. So why are the limitations? Let us watch the proceedings from the screening exercise at the National Assembly, and I will be right back.
And I am from Bauchi Central, Bauchi State, and the nominee happens to finish from my alma mater, both the ABU and University of Abuja. You're welcome. Mr. Nominee, listen to this. Since Buhari's assumed office in 2015, the Nigerian military has taken delivery of 32 brand new aircrafts. With the latest, and that is the key question.
You mean the
latest
Buhari, by Buhari? You are not
since
talking
Buhari
about,
assumed office.
not Senator Buhari.
In 20, not this one. Since President Buhari
So you are talking about
assumed office in 2015.
Our late icon, late President Buhari, not Senator Buhari.
Not this one. Since late President Buhari assumed office in 2015, the Nigerian military has taken delivery of a total of 32 brand new aircrafts, with the latest being 6 Super Tucanos at the cost of $1.2 billion US. Air Vice Marshal, where are our Tucanos? And where are they not running? That is the question.
Where are the Tucanos? And why are they not performing? Deputy Senate President.
Now, sir, for the Super Tucano, sir, the Super Tucanos are doing what they've been paid to do. We have young men and women sacrificing their life while people are sleeping. Most of the operation they do, we are giving you value, sir, for your money, because the equipment in those Super Tucanos are extremely expensive. They are located mostly in the northeast and mostly in the northwest. And every night, these same thousands of dollars of weapons are being fired. Just that the armed forces, especially the Air Force, we cannot come out and show everything we do. But I assure you, sir, those airplanes are flying. You can cross-check, sir. They are flying. It's just the kind of war we are fighting. It is not face me, I face you. So we have to synergize with our brothers in the Army and the Navy. But I assure you, sir, those weapons, you can cross-check me, sir. Because even as far back as yesterday night, I have one of the junior officers that is somebody I'm mentoring. And they are fighting. They are not grounded. They are not grounded, sir. We will, like I said, sir, we'll do more of fighting smartly. Because some of the things some of these Super Tucanos can do, those drones can do them with less danger to your personnel. Sir, aviation is a very expensive business. You might hear the word 1.2 billion. 1.2 billion in the aviation environment is like a spoon fetching out of the ocean. So you might, if you do the calculation of what it takes to train one pilot, you understand the cost, both in dollars and naira. Some of these weapons we fire are one missile. Some of the cheapest are as cheap as $100,000. And you fire these things every day. So it is not a business for the chicken-minded when it comes to finance. And so please, I solicit your cooperation.
That is the link to the coup rumor. What is the link now to the coup rumor about this thing? If senior officers were plotting, you would expect military hardware to be part of the conversation. Who controls what? How is it deployed? And the assets lawyer, who is being lawyer, who are just controlling it? The fact that the Tucanos are under question, where are they? Can they be used? Raises concerns about the readiness and command of the Air Force at a time of perceived internal threat. Mr. President need to know where all these gears are, all these military wares are. The screening answer that there are contract limitations may hint at structural weaknesses or vulnerabilities, which might fit into wider anxieties about chain of command, loyalty, and control. But what do Nigerians seek to know? And what is it that needs clarification in all of this? Was there truly a coup plot? And at what stage did this reach? Sowore claimed that the planning started in 2024 demands a clear timeline and transparency. Who met? When? Where? And how many officers were involved? And what was intended? What was the intent? The military and government owe Nigerians a fuller disclosure to the extent possible. Another disturbing question is, who exactly are the plotters? What positions did they hold? And what was the objective? The public knows only 16 officers detained or a colonel with 11 billion naira in his account. We need names or at least ranks and units and a clear explanation of intent. I understand that there are some names flying on social media, but since the military has debunked the claim of a coup, will it not be unjust to label those officers coup plotters, knowing fully well about the sensitivity of the matter and the traumatic effects on the individuals and family members? It's not unfair and unjust to label them coup plotters. Another important thing to consider is how does the leadership reshuffle relate to this? Was it in response to the effort or purely a reform? The advantage derived from the plot, that is, if real, appears to have been the impetus it gave to Mr. President to reshape the top echelon of the armed forces. These are the process. Nigerians need to know whether the reshuffle was because of the plot, by way of cleaning the house, or unrelated to it. It's just a coincidence. Again, Nigerians have gotten the long-awaited answer to their questions. Where are the super Tucano jets, and are they operational? These are the questions they've asked consistently. The question from Senator Ningi calls to the heart of military readiness and accountability. Although the Chief of Air Staff mentioned that the jets were effectively deployed in operations, the question is, if the jets were paid for and promised, why are they constrained by contract limitations? What do these limitations say about sovereignty, procurement, and deployment? What are the implications for our democracy, for our security, and the rule of law? If a coup plot was real, that raises alarms about how fragile democratic institutions may be, how much control civilian leadership has over the military, and whether the security agencies can be trusted. On the flip side, if the threat was purely internal repositioning, then transparency is still required to reassure citizens. This story has all the elements of high normal stakes, an alleged plot to overthrow the government, billions of naira in unexplained military funding, a military hardware with questionable deployment, and a top-down reshuffle of the armed forces leadership. They point to one thing. For citizens in Ibadan, Lagos, Kano, and beyond, the key message is this. This situation matters to you as well. It is not just about generals and jets. It's about the kind of Nigeria we have. Secure, transparent, and accountable. If the allegations are true, we must ask, how far did it go? Are the people involved still in positions of power? If false or exaggerated, we must ask why the fear of a coup is pervasive. What does this say about trust within the system? Let this piece spread widely. Let it spark questions, debate, and demand answers. Because in Nigeria, we have long asked for clearer accountability, effective security, and military that serves rather than rules.